Three of the worst catastrophes in American history have taken place on George W. Bush's watch. September the 11th, the Iraq War, and the devastation of New Orleans. Is this a coincidence? As you will see in the following footage, in all three catastrophes, there seems to be one common denominator: explosives.
Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Sorry, you said it's a bomb? What'd you say? Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Got it.
Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right? Here, hold on. You want to call your mother or something?
You gotta get back to me.
I know that, all right.
Get back.
All right? Don't worry about me. You need to make calls right now. All right. Come with us. Let's talk a little later, okay? Okay. Yeah, man. So I'm right underneath the damn thing, all right? Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right?
No second plane. It was a bomb. Bombed in the building, not second plane. That was a bomb. Who said the second plane?
That's what we're told, the second plane.
No,
we saw it on television.
I saw everything.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. This is...
And then all of a sudden, three big explosions.
There was a heavy-duty explosion.
Somebody saw secondary explosions.
A big explosion in the other town.
In the building, I heard explosions. Outside of the building, I heard explosions. The first explosion I heard when I was on the stairwell landing. Like a boom. Like an explosion.
Joining me is Jack Kelly. Now, he is a foreign correspondent. He has some information about these attacks. Jack, what can you tell us happened first in New York?
Apparently what appears to happen was that at the same time two planes hit the building, that the FBI most likely thinks that there was a car or truck packed with explosives underneath the buildings, which also exploded at the same time and brought both of them down.
Now, that's the first time we're hearing that. So two planes and explosives that were in the building, is that correct?
That is the working theory at this point. That is still unconfirmed, but that is what the FBI is going on at this point.
Rick Sanchez has been there throughout this morning for us. Rick, tell us where you are and what the latest is.
I spoke with some police officials moments ago, Chris, and they told me that they have reason to believe that one of the explosions at the World Trade Center may have been caused by a van that was parked in the building that may have had some type of explosive device in it.
NBC's Pat Dawson is close to the scene of that attack. Pat?
Just moments ago, I spoke to the chief of safety for the New York City Fire Department. He received word of the possibility of a secondary device, that is another bomb going off. There was another explosion which took place. According to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
I did pass through a couple of parks and on some of the streets, and before, when I reported about an hour ago, there were people at their gas pumps who turned to look at the smoke that was coming from the city, started stepping out of bodegas and stores to look. Now people are gathering in large groups. In fact, in one corner, I saw a group of people actually holding hands and praying. As I stand on the Manhattan Street, which is closed, it is open to pedestrian traffic. Some people are here in crowds, but there's just no way for them to, I don't look out something that I can't.
We made it outside. We made it about a block.
We made it at least two blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor instead of popping out.
It was like, it was if they had detonated. They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
This is how it's been since day one. Oh, it's unbelievable. And this is 6 weeks later, almost 6 weeks later. And as we get closer to the center of this, it gets hotter and hotter. It's probably 1,500 degrees. We've had some small windows into what we thought was a core at some point, and it looked like an oven. You know, it was just roaring inside. And it was just a bright reddish orange color. See that stuff he's pulling out? What was that, Chief? We're gonna hold off on the water. See the stuff he's pulling out? Yeah. It's red hot. If we hit it too much steam, you won't be able to see what he's doing. Great.
Never before in history has a steel-framed high-rise building collapsed simply because of fire. On 9/11, by coincidence, 3 such buildings collapsed within 10 to 16 seconds. Almost free fall speed. In other words, if you had dropped a brick from the top of the World Trade Center, it would have taken about that time to hit the ground. If fire could even conceivably bring down steel-framed buildings, would bring them down very slowly. The steel would bend and fall this way and that way. It'd be a very slow process. The pictures that we see are consistent with what is called controlled demolition. When a company fills a building with explosives, times the explosives in just the right way to bring the building straight down into its own footprint. And that's what we see with all 3 buildings.
Managed implosion of the building. If you've seen many of the managed demolitions where they implode a building and they cause it essentially to fall vertically because they cause all of the vertical columns to fail simultaneously. That's exactly what it looked like, and that's what happened.
It was live on television. I mean, just literally millions of people.
You have 2 110-story office buildings. You don't find a desk. You don't find a chair. You don't find a telephone, a computer. The biggest piece of a telephone I found was half of the keypad, and it was about this big. The building collapsed to dust.